Looking like everything should be good.
Yep, I was there to hold their hands through it. It's okay. It's their first time here in Tourneys. It wasn't exactly smooth, but we figured it all out. They got their builds done, they got their add-ons done, they got their... Yep, the map is all set. We should be all good to go.
Well, yeah. And I'm looking right here to kind of look at their build, as if you will. Is that well, first off, it looks like they kind of understand the concept of ARP first. That's one thing that, like, it kind of reminds me of old Tofu Scrim Nights, when as a viewer we would watch to kind of see if someone understood kind of like the macro of a map, like, you know, that they're playing on. And it at least looks like that they are kind of understanding here that a little bit, but then Multi getting caught out of position here at 7, and I don't even think that the killer knew he was there. I think he just straight up just ran into him. A little bit of an overshoot on the bird.
Killer had an idea, because Killer was really deliberately holding that cross, and they knew that no one has passed, so they knew where to look, like, roughly the approximate area where they might be, and they did manage to find Multi here. Multi is taking this chase here in the corrupted side of the map, using balanced landing to make a bit more distance, and I think this will be it there, kind of against the edge of the map. Do you think they can make it somewhere else?
I don't think so, but I do think that Ink Egg is an issue. Reason why is that, for one, the cross ping hit. Yep. Ink Egg is a bit of an issue with the artist if you aren't completely used to her timings. It is good for distance. It is good when people are able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Spread pressure across the map, and I think that especially in this corner it can be dangerous, but I don't think that Multi was even going to make it out, because the thing is that the artist could just literally stack all 4 birds right there. So it's an issue with distance. Like, if you have an entire, like, open map to play, Ink Egg is an issue, but when you're in a corner of the map or you're just trying to put birds on people, like as you can see here, it kind of comes in handy. So I just thought that Multi was effed either way, but I do love to see people getting hit through pallets.
Of course you do. I mean, I myself am a big fan of Egg. Yesterday I used it during scrims, and I think I got my best results with the Egg, as opposed to Fester and Carrion or something like that. But then again, I'm also not the artist player of all time, so maybe I'm just using Egg to compensate for my own skill issue. I don't know. Maybe Zloty is gonna be able to get some sort of value out of the add-on.
Well,
I definitely saw, like, some really highly respected players in the comp community use Egg and get good results with it. I think when I was preparing for scrims yesterday, I was watching Team Ariandel against Team Nocron, and both Ipik and Zak, I think, opted to use the Inkak add-on. We do see here For the People play on Yo Multi, and DefJukies, what do you think about this FTP play? Because I think it's very necessary now, because Multi went second. What do you think?
I think that it's a one out of desperation. So here's the issue, right? Is that one thing is that they should not have let him go second, for one, but they have no gen pressure beyond that. So it certainly appears that way, that they're not able to keep the pressure up, and that's kind of an issue if you get an ATP. Like, there's a second gen popping. You should, in my personal opinion, before pulling him, you should have already had 3 gens popping. But now it's in a position where he has to play this 50. He wins it, but then his birds reset because of the vault, and then Ink Egg is going to carry this hit. Yep.
Oh, the Inkak value. Oh, so satisfying.
Yeah, and there you go. Multi's out of the game with 3 gens remaining still, and I think they're barely getting over to that end. So it looks like they have a 3-2 gen split. They have 1 gen kind of in the 6 area, and then you have another gen over at Shack and over at, like, 7 Hill. So it's looking like, well, they have quite a bit of progress on this gen, but I don't know if it's gonna pay off here, Misha.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think they just wasted a lot of time. They were doubling a generator there on the top side of the map near main building as Multi was going second. So I think they may have kind of let go of their early game pressure just a little bit, and I am curious to see what Slotty is going to do to capitalize on their mistake.
Yeah, so you're going to see kind of what Inkegg does here is that for some of these like tiles, it makes it so it's extremely difficult to have to play.
Mid chase generator repair is very important, but hey, I think this might be a 2-tap on Boom here because he was not repelling. Well, his loading took a bit too long.
Exactly. So this is kind of...
Don't abandon the chase. Don't abandon the chase. Go commit. Thank you, Slotty.
I know. Speaking of holding hands, it looks like we'll be holding hand of Macro as well. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. As we do see another gen popping here. So this is exactly the kind of tile that makes it so difficult to play on Artist. Like all he has to do is win the 50, which on ping is very difficult, and he wins it. And that's very impressive.
Divine is here for a hit tank. Well, they need it. It doesn't seem... Everyone is here, but no one's working gens also.
And then there goes Divine over here to the top of the map. And I don't think this is a terrible idea, because now they're going to be taking it away from the active gen. But now they know where everybody is, and...
Oh no, I don't think Boom working on that generator was a good idea. He was not being reset.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, is that I feel like Slotty is using Inkegg a little bit not great. And the reason I say that is because, like, the thing with Inkegg is that you're just going... But where it comes into play is during that sort of, like... what is it? The severed hands, like, play? What it does is that it makes it so that if you swarm them, you can just go around a more broader area. So... If everything's on a timer, yeah, it's a ping hit, all right. If everything's kind of on a timer, the timer gets started a little bit later when you get hit with severed hands, and that fraction of a second makes it that so Inkegg can actually come into play. They do finish that gen, and now they have another gen way off in the distance that they could work. That chase by Boom was enough to get that middle gen done, and I think outs are very possible now, but
I think outs are to be expected, yeah, because the 3-gen is basically non-existent. You have Shack 7 and then also a generator completely across the map.
Oh no! Divine got found!
But is that big of a deal? Because Ace, I'm assuming, is still on the bottom side of the map. So Ace will get a pull on Boom, he will get a reset on him, they will double a generator, while Divine is down here on the top side of the map. This chase does end a bit quicker because of the ping and because of how difficult it is for Divine, who's NA, to play against Lodi, who is from Europe. But... Oh hey, this is agitation value. Do you think they make it to... Oh no, they're not. They know they don't make it to pain rest, so they just decide to hook a bit closer to their generators on the bottom side of the map.
Oh, my first time playing the RM, well, SV gets found right here. Not good. Looks like they went to the DefJukies school of insta-pulls, huh?
Just don't.
So... I was gonna say with just to kind of carry off of Jackknife's point of Inkegg being the zoning tool, it is. But you know, the thing for me is that when I played Artist, gosh, this had to have been 2 years ago. I had a discussion with my friend at the time, and we settled on, for me at the very least, with the way that I like to play Artist, is that Festering Carrion and Thick Tar would stack. So I would get a full extra second to down somebody. But either way, I'm realizing... Wait.
Crazy development we're having here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is actually really huge now. So less about the add-ons now. And it looks like that this is definitely still trending towards outs now. So they've hooked Divine and they've hooked Boom both once each. Only one of them has used a pain res, and that was a really, really good firecracker.
Neither of them has used their pain res. It was Yo Multi whose pain res is used. So the killer has not used any sort of regression since they tunneled out Multi.
Wait a second. So... Wait, so that means that this is going to be a pain res then?
Yep.
And then Divine got reset because of second wind, right? So...
Correct.
Okay, so they definitely got to be on the 11 gen then. What? What are they doing there? What is Divine doing over here at 6?
Is it Divine? Oh, it is Divine. I have no idea.
I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
very confused.
I'm upset, Misha. I'm invested in Entity's success, and this is what they do to me.
Okay, listen, you're invested in entity success. I'm gonna be rooting for my own people. Go to ATAKAE, go.
Oh my gosh. Well, Boom is going to be taking chase over here to the mid area. And now it's going to be a vaulting with the TNL. So Divine has to get that pull like right now. And it's going to be difficult now because of the issue. And that's quite the spicy go around on there. And it's going to be another pain res.
Nope, this one's used.
This one's used. Man, wake me up. I'm so sleepy. And now it's going to be...
Wait, maybe it is actually not used. Maybe I'm the sleepy one, in fact. It will be another pain res. So this is kind of looking like a 4K1. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering which gen they were. Are they working 7?
I don't think they're working anything.
I have things. I'm about to...
Yeah.
I'm about to break Twitch TOS by what I'm about to say next, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I believe in my ability. I believe in Divine to get that pull. I believe in Fade to have longer chases next time they get unhooked.
Please and thank you. They do get the unhook, and I'm looking at Survivor's POV now. They're both making their way to the top side of the map. So I think they're abandoning both of their generators on bottom side, and they're trying to work on that generator on 11. I am not sure if that's exactly going to work out, because Lodi here does find Boom again, so it's only Divine who needs to get the pull and also start working on generators. This really does look like a 4K1 now, because I do not think they have any meaningful progress anywhere really, and this will be a 2v1 in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and there's Divine over there that's just going for the pull. So yeah, 4K1, I mean, I would say that they definitely progressed the game far enough to at least be fighting for better than a 4K1. It just feels like they just lost momentum so fast. And yeah, I mean, that's gonna be, you know, the last chase coming in here, and I doubt this chase is gonna last. Yeah.
It is so difficult to do anything against the artist killer on such a filler.
Yeah, I mean, this is just rough. Like, so just to kind of go back to my little soliloquy about old artist, what it was is that I used Festering Carrion, and I used, you know, what's it called? Thick Tar, and so it gave me an extra second for, you know, basically either to shoot them or for them to repel it. So it's 0.5 seconds for each. So it was very useful, but when Ink Egg finally got kind of its buff, I believe, that made it so that there was, like, less of a recharge or something really weird like that, that's when it became viable. So that was probably about a year and a half ago or so. And so it's been an interesting time to kind of see that. And you'll even see, like, you know, Wispy bringing, you know, Severed Hands and Untiled Agony, because he'll just throw it in tiles and forget about it. So Artist has definitely evolved since her release, and also since then. So Zoe will take this 4K1 with him. So we're going to see who plays Killer for Entity now. So stay tuned as we get ready for the next set. Right on time, right on cue. We had little faith in your multi, but we figured it out. I have more faith in your multi's Killer than I do their serve, because Artist ARP is 4K1 Factory. Samisha, what do you want to see from your multi?
I mean, listen, any sort of 4K I think will be a good result for them. I am expecting them to match 4K1.
Well then, I am expecting good things as well. Just to give a little bit of an idea of what these birds do, this is going to be Ogrifo Lover and Severed Hands on the Artist Killer. So Ogrifo Lover makes it so that they get inflicted with exhaustion when they are swarmed, which is good. But it's... Don't know! Ah, buddy, I don't think it hits it that far away. What it does basically is that it treats them like little... What's a killer, Misha, that affects exhaustion with their power?
I don't think we have one. I mean, I think you're thinking about a clone bottle, but that would be more like Untitled Agony, an add-on that Wispy was using. As we were talking, Wispy's playstyle basically on all killers is really interesting. He does often try to like maximize the speed potential. I think it was Wispy who started the trend of running, say, Brutal Strength on Wesker. Brutal Strength and also Central, is it called? The add-on that makes you move faster. when you have your power out. So yeah, but this is Ogre for Lover. This add-on does make a lot of sense in this specific rule set because we do allow a lot of good exhaustion perks against artists. This is not something you commonly see, but that's the decision we made. And it's fun to see Yo Multi adapt to the setting he is in. We do see here a for the people play coming out from Lodi, and Yo Multi will be timing out this Nancy player from Team ATAKAE.
Team ATAKAE, yeah.
What
What's
do you
up?
think about the pace so far?
Well, first, you're a little bit muffled. You're a little bit far away from your mic. Let's fix that on the next one.
Yep.
But then, yep, we're perfect. And then now, I'm more focused on the production value right now. As much as Yo Multi is hitting these birds, I think they're focused right now on the chase that's happening in front of them. So everybody's focused on the right things, it seems like. But I don't think that the Nancy here is going to have that long of a chase. I think the pace of the game is a lot quicker than the last one. Now, the part that's interesting to me is, for one, they spent all that time on trying to get rid of Ruin. But now you have... This is a pretty similar pace, but if you can see that Shiggy right here is going to complete that other gen here in the distance. And this, to me, is looking like the pace is faster, but it feels like Yo Multi's in less control of the future gens after the Nancy dies. As you can see here, like... Well, actually, I'm incorrect here. Yo Multi's hold on to the 3-gen longer than the killer from ATAKAE has, so I think it's about to slow down right now. It was much faster pace to start, but it looks like... Yeah, it just looks like this 3-gen's going to be able to be held, but there's no more Ruin. Misha, do you like the idea of Thrill of the Hunt on this map?
I hate the idea of Thrill of the Hunt in general. I think Thrill of the Hunt is such a gamble perk. It can give you way too much value or none at all. And I think we're closer to the latter here because the Ruin was cleansed and this is it. Now you have 2 dead perk slots basically. I think something like Undying would have been much better, and we do allow Undying on this killer on this map on this set. So I don't know why Yo Multi didn't go for Undying there. This is a basically textbook 2-man save that Team ATAKAE executed here, and they are allowing their Nancy player to make it to the middle of the map, which is like very pallet dense, very resource rich area, and this allows Nancy to have a better chase than anywhere else really. But what Nancy really needs to do is to die away from the top side so that survivors can start pranking generators that they have around the main building. I think they have a 3-gen around there. So this will be Nancy out of the game, and we already have some progress on the generator number 4. Shiggy is getting off of that generator though to reset the ace player, and we do find Zlody here on the top side of the map. Zlody really needs to take Chase down to Shack. Let's see if they can manage to do that. Yo Multi is just taking an M1, but because they took an M1 and they already put down a bird, they will be kind of on a longer cooldown now. Yeah, they're basically an M1 killer for a couple of seconds now, and there is no rapid brutality, no nothing to help them cut down the distance. So Multi knows that they can't really commit to it, and they're going back to their topside generators.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like right now that they're very acutely aware of the 3-gen game, but this is the difficulty that it brings if you don't have a gen kick perk instead of Thrill. Well, they're actually already working this gen. Ouch. Okay, well, so about that entire thing of being able to hold the 3-gen, I think that has gone out the window here, brother. And you can see a bird there in the distance. Yep.
We did see the bird. Will Yo Multi commit? Thank you. I think Yo Multi knows what he needs to do.
Multi-killer my goat. Let's see how it goes, but it doesn't look like it's gonna. And that's sprint burst. Yep. See you later.
The placement was questionable there. I'm not gonna lie, but Yo Multi is chasing out the only survivor who was in the top side of the map, I think. So this is not too bad of a chase to take and maybe commit for a tag or even for a down, but they really need to be careful about anyone sneaking in and completing that generator, because the moment that generator on 1 gets completed, there is no more 3-gen, and Yo Multi will find themselves basically in the situation that Zlody found themselves in.
Well, it looks like that Ace was working the gen as well, so it doesn't look like... That's a 99 gen right there. He needs to kick that gen, because if not, he's about to lose another one here in just a second. So it does feel like that M1 there on that that Atom was the game changer now. As I'm sure the Slody is just going to go nosedive that one.
Oh.
Controller moment
that was
happens.
gen in the distance. So now the killer has no reason at all to leave the 3-gen, but also the killer knows how close that generator on 1 is, and it's... Oh, it's so scary. If I'm multi, I am shaking in my boots right now.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of that, we don't want to leave the POV in order to give away any extra information, but also to keep the viewers on edge as well. It does feel like right now that, if, you know, maybe Columbine Eruption would have been a better choice for this matchup, but, you know, we make everybody pre-send in the builds for a reason, to just make it, you know, just to give it some comparability. Well, I guess, let me ask you this, Misha. Are you a fan of teams pre-sending their builds in, or are you a fan of teams being able to change it based on their win con?
Listen, I think changing the build based on the win con is really fun, but also I definitely see how that kind of compromises the competitive spirit, I guess. Yeah, I think that pre-sending builds and locking them in before the match starts is definitely the more sane choice.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be that way, and it looks like right now that this is going to be another chase happening. All they have to do is sneak somebody over there to that 1-gen, and I think that's already happening right now as we speak. I think we give it about 15 seconds before that gen pops. But regardless, you know, Slody has done a really good job of taking, you know, that double save seemed a little bit suspect, but I think it ended up working out. Yep, right on cue. Yep. Good old-fashioned game sense. Either way,
so
you know.
This is already a set 1 for Team ATAKAE, because their previous result was 4K1, and now it's a 4K0, even if multi manages to kill everyone now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen here, but, you know, I do think that it's going to be interesting to see how they end up playing this out here to, I think it's going to be everyone out the door at 12 then.
I think there's a better door. I think they're just willing to give up Sayer and take the 6 stages out.
Yeah, well, I think it looks like that's going to be the case here. Yeah, I thought that 12 was already going to be open there. I see here we have... This is like the part in pubs where the killer turns friendly. Because, you know, where you just have beaten their win con or whatever. You broke the 3-gen and then they just start, you know, farming for blood points. You know, which was interesting because I remember back when I first started playing about this time 4 years ago. Then I was in the farming lobbies and it made me want to go play a different game. So hopefully, you know, Yo Multi at least lets them get out the door. They move on with their lives and we're able to, you know. I'm struggling for words here, as you can tell. This was a very good game up to that point, so I'm very happy to see that everyone just played out to their builds very well. So this is going to be a win for Team ATAKAE on the first set, and now we're going to move on to the second one here in just a little.